People don't need a property manager until they need a property manager. We'll talk about that on today's episode. Hey guys, Jason from 410 Real Estate back with you today to talk about a question that we receive all the time. Why do I need to hire a property manager? And as I said in the intro, one of the main things we always say is that people don't really need us, they think, until they need us. A lot of the calls we get are reactive rather than proactive. So we get a lot of calls from people that are like, oh, my tenant hasn't paid rent in months, or the tenant thrashed my house when they left and I need to find a new tenant and I don't want to do that again. So a lot of it is reactive. So what I want to talk to you about today are the top 5 reasons to hire a property manager. So number 1, you want your home to be an investment, correct? So let it act like an investment. When you invest in the stock market or mutual funds, things like that, you keep an eye on it, you keep oversight on it, but you don't have to be involved day to day on every single minute decision about your investments. I'm sure that most of us don't know within the mutual funds that we invest in which exact stocks are in there at any given time, and if they move around or do anything. Yeah, we get those big booklets from our investment advisors, but how many of us really read those? Real estate can be an investment for you as well. Allow it to be so. Allow someone else to handle the headaches and those sorts of things, and you receive your monthly payment each month, and hopefully some income. That's the goal, right? On an income property, so that you just can treat it like an investment. Number 2, proper accounting and tax reporting and filing. Most rental owners don't know that in the Phoenix metro area and in Arizona, there are rental occupancy taxes that are required in most municipalities with only a few exceptions. So for instance, in the town of the city of Phoenix, there's a 2.3% rental occupancy tax. So what you need to do as a rental owner is collect that from the tenant, report it to the city, and pay those taxes to them. Now, the majority of rental owners don't know to do that and could potentially have a headache down the road. So having a property manager, you're going to get, at least with our office, you're going to get sales tax collection, filing, and reporting. You're going to get an easy to read monthly statement that looks like a bank statement. Here's money in, here's money out. And you're going to get a cash flow statement at the end of each year that you can literally just hand to your tax preparer that shows all of your revenue and expenses and everything nice and clean. You don't have to worry about keeping up spreadsheets or keeping 1,000 receipts or any of that sort of stuff. So accounting and taxes are a major reason to hire a property manager. Number 3, and I think this is probably the biggest reason that we hear, you want to remove emotion from the equation. So Jason, does that mean that you just treat my tenant like a jerk and don't give them any kind of grace or any kind of work with them on any of their situations that might happen in their life? No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is we've gotten so many clients that call us that say, man, my tenant hasn't paid rent in 6 months, but I can't evict him. I mean, I don't want to put him out on the street, things like that. Well, you have to remember, again, your rental property is an investment. It is not a charity unless you want it to be that. So because it's an investment, you can still treat people with dignity and respect and still maintain the legal requirements of a contract. So by having a property manager, someone who's not emotionally invested in the home, they didn't have their kids grow up in the home and now it's being used as a rental, the property manager can act as a neutral party that can represent you and can get what you need done as an investor while still treating your tenants with dignity and respect and working with them during hard circumstances. At least that's how we operate, and that's any property manager you think about hiring needs to operate in a similar fashion, because I believe that leads to tenant longevity and less turnover costs, less vacancy, all that good stuff. So that's number 3. Number 4, a knowledge of rental law and the updates to rental law. So as an owner, you try your best to keep up, I'm sure, with what's happening in the rental universe and as far as changes to law or codes or rules, policies, things like that. As a property manager, it's our job to keep track of these things. And we have actually an attorney that is basically on call, on retainer with us, that keeps us up to date on anything that comes out that's new that may affect leasing or property management or any of those sorts of things here in Arizona. The consequences of not knowing those things could be large. For instance, with everything that's happened with COVID recently, there was a discussion about a moratorium on evictions. That was partially true. Most tenants latched onto that and said, well, you can't evict me because it's COVID time. Most owners said, man, I can't evict people because of COVID. That's actually not really the case. You can still file for and potentially even receive a judgment for eviction What the moratorium was on was physically locking people out of their homes and removing them in that way and leaving them basically on the street. So, and of course, that's something we have to deal with. People may have hard circumstances. There's a lot more that goes into it, but that's just one example. There is always fair housing updates. There are always case law updates. And to keep track of that as an individual rental owner can become cumbersome. Your risk for not doing so could be a lot of money out of your pocket if you do something wrong, or if you violate Arizona Landlord Tenant Act or something like that. So legal updates, knowledge of the law, a huge component. And number 5, and I think the biggest reason anybody does this is just peace of mind, right? You don't have to deal with the midnight phone call if something breaks. You don't have to worry about going back and forth about I can't pay my rent and here's why, and trying to work out the differences between a true story that somebody's going through a hard time and just a sob story that may just be a way to avoid paying the rent. You don't have to worry about those things. You don't have to worry about filing for and collecting sales taxes. You don't have to worry about receiving notices of violation and dealing with those from your HOA. You don't have to worry about screening and how do I know that I got the right tenant, because you have someone that is paid to do those things. And again, just like with any investment, there's a cost to investment. So the cost of a property manager can save you a lot of money in the long run in vacancy and turnover and potential miscues, missteps with legal issues, things like that. So those are the top 5 reasons to hire a property manager. Whenever you are screening for a property manager, you want to make sure that they're going to treat your tenants with dignity and respect while still looking out for your best interests. You want them to have a position of stewardship as though your house was their asset, and how would they treat it if it was their home? These are some of the questions you need to ask, and these are some of the philosophies in which our company was founded, was based on stewardship, based on grace, and based on transparency, honesty, and integrity. So whether you hire us or not, though we'd like you to hire us, please make sure those things are in whatever property manager's DNA that you hire, because if not, that's going to be potentially even more problems for you down the road. All right, so if you like content like this, please share this with your friends. If you could click that subscribe button and the notification bell so you know anytime we put up a new video. We do one of these a week on real estate. We do one of these a week introducing you to a local business around town. So our channel hopefully is a great way for you to keep up on what's happening around town, as well as what's happening in the world of real estate. So thanks again for checking out the video today. We'll see you next time on the next episode.